We only have 15 minutes left. Usually, in the summertime, we have about 1 hour to do the lecture. But in the wintertime, usually we start our lunch at 11. In order that we don't bypass the nautical noon, because the monks and nuns, we only eat 2 meals per day, and the second meal at lunchtime must be before the nautical noon. So the nautical noon changes in every season. In the wintertime, it's about 12, maybe a little earlier than 12 even, in the wintertime. In the summertime, it's 1:30. So we can always postpone back, the lunch at 11:30. Sometimes it goes beyond 11:30. It goes to 11:45. So we have a time limitation. There's reason for everything. But anyway, we have 15 minutes left. And of course, we can't do much in 15 minutes. What we have been talking about actually is, we call it the mental experiences, which is actually, if we put it in modern terms, it's a form of school of thought of psychology. But psychology is only a new name of our century. Before, philosophy breaks down into sociology, psychology, different branches. But the Buddha already talked about mental experiences 2,600 years ago, very much long before the development of psychology. So actually, psychologists later extrapolate all their thesis and dissertation basically from the foundation of what the Buddha was talking about in the Yogacara school that we've been talking about. Yogacara school. Mental experiences we call the Yogacara school. The Yogacara school is also called, in the Sanskrit language, it's called Vijnapti Amatrata, a Sanskrit word. Which, V-I-G-N-A, which, napti, which, what is which? Which is consciousness. Which now is consciousness. Napti, consciousness only. Which napti matrata. And that's consciousness only school. So, mental experiences, what is it all about? What is which napna matrata? What is consciousness school? What is Yogacara? What is this? What was the Buddha talking about? The Buddha was talking about mental experiences. Nothing is not mental experiences. You're not apart from the mental experiences. Everything is formed because of mental experiences. So that's the reason why when we say we want to study Buddhism, it's not the study of how the Buddha can give you blessings. It's not the study of how superstitiously you can burn an incense and request for wealth, for status, for fame, and you can get it from the Buddha. That's not the objective of Buddhism. You polluted it with your own concepts in your mind. Don't put your misconception, your misconceived mental experiences into the definition of Buddhism. It's not that. It's not what you think. And Buddhism is a study, in-depth study. As a matter of fact, it's so in-depth that there's a lot of what the Buddha was talking about, and we still don't know, we still can't explain it. We still don't know how to explain it. What we understand is just tip of the iceberg of what the Buddha was talking about in Yogacara school. Because in those ancient days, there were a lot of philosophers. And in some of the concepts, even before the Buddha talked about it, all these philosophers already know. But given the society we are living in right now, it's not that. As Alan has mentioned before, what kind of society we have now? Electronics, communications, and material, technology. The emphasis has changed from advancement in technology, electronics, and science, change into that. I haven't recovered from my flu, so I was not in my best mind to talk about Buddhism. All right, let's talk about mental experiences, which Napti Matrata, consciousness school only. And we put all these complexities of the whole world into one PowerPoint. Can we attempt to do that? Can we attempt to summarize everything into just one PowerPoint? I try. It may not be the best, but at least I try. What do we have? We have external environments, right? Matter, sound, smell, taste, and touch. These are the externals to your body, externals to your mind. Externals, externalities, I usually call it. What others? That word matter is what? It includes atoms, protons, electrons, neutrons, I don't know what you name them. Materiality. Everything is, long ago, scientists said elements put together, conglomeration of elements, and then we say atoms. Atoms can be split into protons and electrons and neutrons, and they continue to split it until it comes to the tiniest part, and even the tiniest part can be split, waiting for the scientists to do a lot more in their lifetime, and no scientist can spend their whole lifetime in exploring one thing and successfully find out the result of what they're exploring. So matter, it's all that you can sense, you can see, that's matter. What I see is matter, right? Is anything that what I see is not matter? If it's not matter, how can I see? I cannot see sound, right? Can I see sound? No. So the Buddha said, let's split another part of the externalities that we can not see, we can only listen to. We call it the sound. And actually all of these is wavelengths, frequencies. And then smell. And then taste. And then the final one is touch. And in English word we call it tactility. Tactility, anything that that your senses can interact with. And that touch is actually a grand comprehension, coverage of anything that is not matter, not sound, not smell, not taste. We put that into touch, into touch. Actually, that's interaction. The list can go on, but the Buddha only summarized it using very intelligent words. What else is there? Matter, sound, smell, taste. Matter corresponds to what? What we can see. So that's the reason why we have eye consciousness. Sound corresponds to or interact with ears, so we have ear consciousness. Smell with nose consciousness. Taste with tongue consciousness. And touch with the body consciousness. Why did the Buddha bring out all this consciousness? The Buddha was talking about this externalities, which is the whole universe, right? This is the whole universe. And then the Buddha slowly got into not just the huge big universe, the individual minute universe that we as a body maintain in ourselves. So that's the whole universe elements. That's only in one individual. Your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, and then finally the body. And that body includes what? Not just the body. all the system inside the body. The heart, the spleen, the kidney, the bladder, all these inside. The interaction inside is also contains what? Contains matter, sound, smell, and taste. The body, the system inside has sound too. You know that everything inside the body has sound? So that's a huge universe. That's a small universe. This small universe is what we classified as what? As what? As body and mind. Body and mind. Right? Don't you have a body and mind? Or you only have a body and you have no mind? No. It's a body and mind. Yeah, this is the body and mind. And some people don't conceptualize the body and mind that way. They conceptualize the body and mind objectively into what they say, me. This is I. This is my individual. That's you, that's me. You cannot intrude into my privacy. I want to be better than you. This is the benefits that I should receive. You blame me, then I blame you. So there's always me, I, you, all these conflicts of duality. All these conflicts of dualities produces what? Sufferings, mental afflictions, jealousy, hatred, greediness, fear, anxiety, depression. How many can I list them out? Inexhaustible. Sometimes I remember I work in a workshop and then we say, let's list out all the elements of happiness. How do we feel when we're happy? One list. And how do we feel when we are unhappy? And usually the list on unhappiness is much longer than the one on happiness. What can you put in happiness? What can you put in happiness? And what can you put in unhappiness? Unhappiness? Too many. There is no end to it. And how about happiness then? What can you feel in happiness? People sometimes just put in going to a party, there's happiness. Eating turkey on a Thanksgiving night, there's happiness. And have a relationship, there's happiness. And win a lottery ticket, happiness. And some people will put in, as long as I feel delighted. It's not just material. As long as I feel that nothing is binding me. And I'm on a boat. I'm floating in Bowen Island with all this breeze in the ocean. And there's no wave. And then I'm floating around and that's happiness. So different people have different definition of happiness. But don't you know that if you continue to define and find out more about what they quote unquote define as happiness, sometimes some of this happiness could lead to what? Tragedies, unhappiness, mental afflictions, suffering. Imagine happiness as from a party. You go to a Christmas party, that's happiness. And then in the party, you strike up acquaintance with what you think is a beautiful girlfriend or a handsome boyfriend, and then you start a relationship. And then this relationship will lead to what? To what? Have you seen that movie? A man gets to know a woman in a party, and then what they end up with. I forgot. I'm getting old. What's the name of that movie that I mentioned before? It wind up that the guy was killed by the woman. Huh? Fatal attraction, yeah. That attraction, which they call happiness, is actually fatal. Fatal attraction. You know, always is the case. I haven't even started, and then they strike the gong. Fatal Attraction is a good movie. It's by, I forgot the name of that, by Michael Douglas, right? And then another And then, oh, it was terrible. The ending was terrible. The ending was terrible. But the beginning was happiness, though. What they defined as happiness. It winds up in tragedies. Think about it. I haven't really started anyway, but I should continue to tell you all those which Nana Machata, all those that you should watch out for. But one, I have seen some new faces around, which I didn't see in the first session, which means that, I don't know, some new faces come up. If you come for the first time, you should have a concept that Buddhism is not about getting getting. I want to be famous. I want to good health. I want blessings. It's not just about that. That's just a byproduct from the belief. It's just like some people say, why do I have to chant? Chanting is superstitious. Why do I have to chant, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum? What's the point? What's the point of chanting? Why don't you raise that question up when you're at lunchtime? Write down, what is the point of chanting? Are you not superstitious? Who is listening? You are chanting to whom? Why are you chanting? Why don't you raise that question? Why are you chanting? Why are you prostrating? Why are you worshiping an idol? They call it an idol. Why don't you raise those questions? I'm waiting for challenges.